Rua is having the time of her life tormenting this guy, practically begging him to crash out. Then she drops the nuke, telling him she absolutely hates being his childhood friend. Right then, in the silence, something inside him finally snapped. Takayashiki Rua isn't a normal girl. She is a top-tier idol and the heiress to the massive Tekken group. With that kind of cash and clout, she is basically a real-life princess. Meet our boy, Suzuki Kazuma, a total NPC. No friends, no girlfriend, and absolute zero game. His only defining trait? He is unfortunately stuck as Rua's childhood friend. He spent his entire life living in her shadow, but he is officially over it. He doesn't want to be special like her, he just wants a normal life. But when he tried to tell her that, she absolutely destroyed him. She asked if he was stupid for even thinking it. She screamed that his only worth was knowing her, and he had already wasted his life's luck. He couldn't even respond. All he could hear was her command echoing in his skull. Know your place. Despite the verbal beatdown, he still craved a normal life. Just a quiet spring afternoon, until his phone blew up. Rua invited him to karaoke, ignoring the mental chain she had wrapped around his brain. He checked the roster. Hiragi Ayaka? Why was the flashiest girl in class inviting a background character like him? Rua didn't let up. She dangled the carrot. Friends, romance, the whole package. Claiming he just needed to join their elite squad to fix his life. All he had to do was take one step. He stared at the black mirror, heart pounding. This was it, his chance to stop being a loser. He went full makeover mode, raiding his closet and fixing that tragic haircut. He pulled up to the karaoke spot, threw open the door, and stepped inside to debut the new and improved Kazuma. But before he can even drop a single line, the room explodes. Not in applause, but in pure cringe. They aren't hyping him up, they are roasting him alive. The haircut? Trash. The outfit? Gross. The fact he actually showed up? Hilarious. They mock the salon smell. They mock the jacket. Then Rua, the ringleader, wipes a fake tear. She begs the group to stop, claiming he tried his best, which just makes the laughter 10 times louder. One girl stays silent, but Kazuma finally gets the picture. This wasn't a party, it was a setup. He freezes. Rua leans in to poke the bear. She asks why he is just standing there like a statue. She is literally betting 10,000 yen that he will start crying right now. Kazuma, dead serious, asks the million-dollar question. What did he even do to deserve this? Rua hits him with that demon grin. The answer is obvious, because he is her slave, and slaves exist to entertain their masters. She drops the nuke. She hates that they are childhood friends. And right there, something inside Kazuma finally snaps. He looks her dead in the eye and delivers the verdict. Let's cut ties, Rua. No hesitation, no stutter. Rua's brain short circuits. Eh? Then the rage kicks in. She screams that a loser like him is not allowed to talk back. But Kazuma just reminds her she started it. She claims she has the right to hate him, but he cannot hate her. Classic narcissist logic. Kazuma stares at this so-called top idol and realizes the world has officially gone mad. The tension in the room is thick enough to choke on. He calls it settled and walks out the door, not even looking back. Rua is paralyzed. The minions try to do damage control, calling him lame to protect her ego. But over at the bar, someone else is watching the drama unfold. Then they look down. The table Kazuma was standing near, it is cracked, like physically obliterated. They try to rationalize it. It was already broken, right? Because no human does that with bare hands. But Rua knows better. The fear sets in. She screams into the void, swearing she will never forgive him for ending their friendship. And Kazuma, he just lets out a quiet sigh, realizing he is finally free. Stepping onto the street, the world suddenly looked vivid, like the saturation was cranked up to 100. He couldn't believe he almost sold his soul to that psycho in a school uniform. But that arc is over. From now on, he plays by his own rules. No more shadows, no more leashes. Kazuma was finally the main character. Back at the Teikai estate, Chairman Taezo was drowning in paperwork until his favorite headache, Rua, kicked down the door with a crisis. She started snitching immediately, claiming Kazuma was deleting her from his life. Her cousin Kikura, the family's resident coolhead, didn't buy the victim act. Rua was furious that her sidekick finally grew a spine, but Kikura asked if she possibly, started it. Rua swore she was innocent before admitting she only called him a slave and mocked his childhood trauma, just girly things. The family verdict was unanimous. Rua, you messed up. She panicked and screamed that Kazuma doesn't need friends or a girlfriend. The very idea was ridiculous. Then she went full Yandere mode. She declared herself the only person in the world who truly understands him. Why? Because she is down bad for the guy. Grandpa Taizo agreed it was all Kazuma's fault for simply existing. Kikura suggested she just apologize like a normal human. Rua refused. Instead, she ordered Kikura to force Kazuma to confess his undying love and kiss her. Totally rational. Kikura was processing that insanity when Taizo dropped the bomb. This isn't just a crush. It is an arranged marriage. He is training Kazuma to lead the clan. A monster like that comes around only once in a lifetime. This guy is the definition of mid, rocking straight threes across the board. But it is a hustle. He tanks his grades on purpose to stay invisible, even though the girls are thirsty. Rua brags about her pet like he is a prize poodle. But Kikura drops a truth bomb. Now that the leash is cut, the monster is free. Without a master, there is no telling what kind of chaos he is about to unleash. Next morning, the school is buzzing with gossip about the new target. Kazuma walks in to find his desk trashed. Someone reset his status to 0. He realizes his childhood friend is not just a brat, she is a total tyrant. He weighs his options. Option 1, clean up the mess and act like a good little NPC. Option 2, snitch to the teachers. But he knows that is a dead end. Welcome to Teikai Academy, where talent buys you freedom and poverty gets you nothing. It is a strict caste system. Elites rule the top and plebs rot at the bottom. Sitting on the Iron Throne is Princess Rua, the chairman's spoiled granddaughter. Even the faculty simps for her. Complaining would just put a target on his back. So playing by the rules is essentially self-delete. Kazuma rejects the premise entirely. He clicks his pen. If they want to banish him, fine. He will banish himself. He tapes a savage note to the chair claiming he will study alone, then demands they mark him present. The class loses their minds. Nobody defies the princess and lives, but Kazuma is already gone, slipping through the halls like a ghost. He heads for a secret entrance, just looking for a place where he can actually breathe. He slipped into the underground library, a secret base only the insiders knew about. He planned to burn time there until the heat died down, since he'd already nuked his reputation by crossing the Queen Bee. He figured he might as well embrace the solo grind. But the second he opened that door, he walked straight into a legendary culture trap. Her brain completely short-circuited, and she unleashed a scream loud enough to shatter every window on campus. This is the tragic tale of a guy who just wanted a boring, average life. But instead, fate decided to surround him with the most chaotic girls in the school, turning his daily existence into a minefield of awkward encounters. Back in the library, his peaceful sanctuary was officially canceled. She frantically tried to cover up the goods, while Rua sat nearby, grinning like she just won the lottery. We open on the internet's favorite wasteland, YouTube. Rua Hime is live and fishing for engagement. She is ranting about karaoke night, mostly to remind everyone she is still terrified of the male species. She flames a friend for leaving early. If the party is lit, you don't quit, respect the vibe. But that is just filler. The real news? She is launching a new idol unit with a main. Catch the debut at Shine Mall next Sunday, free entry, so you have no excuse. The comment section turns toxic instantly. Fanboys swear vengeance on anyone who upset their queen. Kazuma bumped into Minato in the library. After they awkwardly apologized, they realized the truth. They were both hunting for the exact same secret spot, but the hideout had a waiting list. Kazuma stood guard outside while she swapped gear. When the door finally opened, she stepped out looking like a nervous wreck in her gym clothes. Kazuma was confused. Why the PE outfit? She confessed she's actually a voice actress, and she needed a private place to practice for her upcoming unit debut. It clicked. She was in the entertainment world, just like the girl who ruined his life. But Minato was dedicated. She even hauled a full-length mirror all the way to school. Then she dropped the bomb. She wasn't skipping class for fun. She was exiled. Her desk had been thrown into the hallway with a sign that read, "No seat for you." Kazuma connected the dots. Minato's tears came from the same toxic source he knew. Suddenly, his pocket started vibrating. He checked the screen. It was Rua. She was spamming him, demanding he drag his desk back and beg on his knees. He stared at the threats. He didn't type a reply. He just hit the block button and silenced the noise for good. He turned back to Minato and asked why she took the abuse. She claimed she was unpopular and ugly. Kazuma wasn't having it. He told her straight up. Her voice sounded like a bell. She panicked and denied the praise. She said the fans hated her for dragging Rua down. Kazuma scoffed. He called those toxic fans exactly what they were, pigs attracting pigs. Then he asked why she teamed up with that pig. Oops, he meant Rua. Minato nearly had a heart attack. She warned him about bad-mouthing the queen bee, but admitted the agency forced the team up. They were just using her. The agency wanted a plain girl to make Rua shine brighter. Kazuma realized the whole bullying setup was probably Rua's idea too. He tried to say Minato was too good for this, but Minato cut him off. She didn't care about the politics. She just wanted to do her job without dragging the team down. That kind of guts deserved respect. Kazuma stepped up. He offered to be her practice partner, even if he was a total amateur. She was shocked, but she took his hand. The anti-Rua alliance was officially formed. Kazuma grabbed a drink for Minato during lunch. She was grinding way too hard, but his errand hit a wall. Rua was screaming about being blocked on Messenger. Kazuma treated her like background noise. She claimed she was too beautiful to ignore. The hallway disagreed, until Asano stepped in to force the issue. He demanded respect for the princess. Kazuma just analyzed him. Why wasn't this baseball scrub at practice? Asano didn't like that look. He decided to get physical. He threw a lethal right hook. He hit absolutely nothing. Asano froze. Kazuma was already standing behind him. The class whispered about the whiff. Kazuma asked if he was out of shape. That snapped Asano's last nerve. He went for round 2. Rua shut it down. She claimed exclusive rights to Kazuma. She told the dog to sit. The vibe got weird. Kazuma finally called her name. She perked up, expecting love. He roasted her cool act instead. He laid down the law. No one messes with him. He told them to get lost. He walked away like a boss. Rua collapsed on the floor. She wasn't sad. She was simping. 1 week later, the training arc continues on the school steps. Minato sprints up the bleachers, working up a sweat. She hums a tune, feeling absolutely invincible, until her sneaker betrays her. Balance gone. She tips backward, ready to eat concrete. But Suzuki spawns in instantly, catching her mid-fall. He secures the bridle carry, checking for damage. She panics, but he just wants her healthy for the main event. Minato stares at him. She is convinced he is using a teleportation cheat code. He shrugs it off. Just basic reflexes. She cuts him off. No humble bragging allowed. She lists every save, calling him her guardian angel. Then, she drops the ultimate gratitude bomb. Suzuki freezes. He was completely blindsided by the sudden affection. He realizes no one has ever actually thanked him like that. He looks away, shyly insisting he is just doing his job. Kazuma kills the vibe, pointing out that her spin is a total disaster. He suggests a raw power jump instead, but Minato panics, screaming that 5 meters is physically impossible. He ignores the excuses, showing her exactly how to load her knees for the launch. To prove it's doable, he casually backflips through a maze of furniture. He rotates mid-air, his foot missing her nose by a single pixel. He sticks the landing, acting like he didn't just almost send her to the lobby. Minato completely loses it, accusing him of being a secret Olympian in disguise. He denies the allegations instantly, claiming he's just a solid C student in gym class. She knows he's capping, but she decides to let the mystery slide for now. He targets her posture next, and she admits her gamer slouch is basically unfixable. Kazuma flips the script, don't fix the glitch, make it a feature. He hits the Nyan pose with zero shame, full commitment. Minato mimics the move, realizing it actually flows perfectly into the next combo. She unleashes the kitty barrage. It's critical hit cute. Even Kazuma has to approve. Then the cringe catches up to her, and she nearly self-deletes from embarrassment. The rhythm clicks. Kazuma hypes her up, suggesting she go full cat girl with ears and a tail, but she slams the brakes. She refuses to use this move for the actual unit. She explains the meta. She's the support class, not the carry. She can't clash with Rua. Kazuma hates the self-sacrifice, but she pivots, asking him to check her acting instead. She insists this is the only way to play her role effectively. She finally drops the lore reveal. She's aiming for voice acting, not idol supremacy. This is just the grind to get there. She's playing the long game for her dream job. Kazuma sees the fire in her eyes. Nothing but respect. Seeing that passion, Kazuma admits he's actually kind of jealous. He confesses he has 0 goals, no destiny, and definitely no master plan. He just wants a normal life he can be proud of. Basically, he's aiming for high-tier NPC status. Minato immediately activates Best Girl mode. She tells him he can be ordinary, or he can be a legend. It's his call. Kazuma is stunned, but he accepts the hype with a sincere thanks. That gratitude hits her like a truck. Heart rate spike detected. She panics, blushes, and quickly pivots to a burning question. She nervously asks about his beef with Rua, terrified that she's the cause of the drama. Kazuma shuts that guilt trip down. He drops a cold line. Rua isn't his childhood friend anymore. That title is revoked. Minato breathes a huge sigh of relief, totally missing the dark subtext of that statement. Minato tries to seize the moment, but her confidence tanks. She stumbles over his last name, then forces herself to commit to the first. She steps right into the danger zone. Kazuma-kun. The intimacy level just skyrocketed. The entire world seems to stop spinning. She's shaking, barely able to force the air out of her lungs. Would you like to? But the mood whiplash is instant. Rua catches them cornered in the dark and completely loses her mind. She shrieks at Minato, demanding to know why she's hiding with Kazu in a sketchy spot like a thief. Rua crashed the party like a wrecking ball. She demanded to know why Kaz was hanging out with a D-list voice actress. She had been spiraling all day, paranoid he was meeting some gloomy loser behind her back. The thought fried her brain until she literally started wailing like a toddler. But seeing the reality triggered her jealous rage. Minato tried to apologize. She swore Kaz was just helping her out professionally. Then Kaz stepped in. He scared the soul out of the poor girl. Earlier, Rua had cornered the quiet kid. She mocked those heavy bangs. She yanked them back to expose the ugly truth. Joke's on her. The girl was actually adorable. Rua couldn't handle the competition. Back in the library, she realized Kaz hadn't seen the goods yet. So she tried to fix the problem with a random roll of duct tape. Kaz wasn't having it. He asked where she even found that stuff. Rua screamed that a support character should know her place. Kaz reminded her that the sidekick works harder than anyone. Rua demanded loyalty just because they grew up together. He looked her dead in the eye. Friend status revoked. She tried to laugh it off as just a joke. He definitely wasn't laughing. He cornered her. He asked if she even knew right from wrong anymore. Rua stood there, totally buffering. Kaz took the better option. He walked away. She screamed at his back, calling him an idiot, swearing she was way cuter than some trash-tier voice actress. Minato started apologizing for the drama, blaming herself for the whole mess. Kaz told her to chill because she just gave him a light bulb moment. They needed to exploit Rua's massive ego. He officially dubbed it Operation Amon Nyan Dance. They regrouped at a diner to review the weapon of choice, a cheap pair of cat ears. Kaz laid out the strat: wear the ears, do the dance, and go viral. He guaranteed it would grab eyeballs. But Minato panicked, claiming her subscriber count was basically 0. Kaz promised to handle the promo work if she trusted the process. She nodded, still nervous. Then he dropped the real challenge: lift the bangs for the camera. He told her straight up she was way too cute to hide behind that curtain. That hit a nerve, and she admitted she was terrified of being perceived. The agency liked her invisible because she was just support fodder. Kaz realized the game was rigged. She was just a disposable prop for a one-hit wonder group. The deck was stacked since Rua was the ultimate Nepo baby, backed by the agency boss. Minato felt like she was challenging a god. Kaz stayed silent, analyzing the board. The world loves to hammer down the nail that sticks out. Rua was just a victim of her own toxic circle. Minato tried to pivot, asking about his history with the princess. Kaz shut that down, claiming she was just an annoyance. He changed the subject. He told her to drop the honorifics. Just call him Kazuma. She stammered, asking him to call her Amani. He said it with zero hesitation. Critical hit, her system overheated and she face-planted into the table, but she rebooted fast. She grabbed the cat ears, ready to break the internet. She uploads the clip to YouTube immediately. She stammers through the intro, looking like a total nervous wreck. Her stats are pathetic, 41 subscribers. She bows deep, begging the audience to stick around. She unleashes the Amon Nyan dance, hitting every pose with lethal cuteness. She tries to plug her Sunday live event. Her battery dies mid-sentence. RIP. Kazuma watches from home, actually impressed. The comments are a war zone of haters and simps. He decides to research her channel. He checks the competition. It is Rua, screaming his name and butchering it 4 times in a row. She has 1 million subscribers watching this tantrum. She calls him a moron, demanding he witness her greatness. She drops the emo act. She snap switches to her bubbly idol persona. Apparently, the rage was just acting practice. She claims she was just venting stress. Sure she was. She teases an acting career before signing off, winking at her simp army. Kazuma stares at the screen. His brain refuses to process the cringe. He accepts the challenge. He is going to crush her. The gap is massive. Rua has thousands of views in hours. Amain has 50. The cat dance is gold. It just needs exposure. He decides to force the viral moment. He types out a hype post, telling people to watch and share. He sends it to the world. Offline, Kazuma is a total NPC. Online, he is the vice leader of a massive gaming clan, and he just mobilized the troops. 3 days later, the internet did its thing. The Amanian video absolutely exploded, hitting 500,000 views. Minato demanded to know what kind of dark magic he used. Kazuma just shrugged, admitting he nudged the algorithm. He insisted the real magic was her talent. Smooth operator. Minato was practically weeping with joy. A random student actually promised to come to her event without being bribed. The enemy was making moves though. Rua was flooding the campus with promos to drown them out. Kazuma wasn't worried. He was just waiting for the trap to snap, and here come the footsteps. Rua stormed in, rocking cat ears and dropping a cringeworthy meow. Kazuma smirked. Hook, line, and sinker. Minato looked confused, but Rua slammed them for their little viral stunt. She wasn't letting them corner the market on culture. She demanded a fair fight on equal ground. She declared war. Sunday, a cat ear showdown to decide who really rules the school. Kazuma analyzed her like a raid boss. He caught that tiny lip twitch, the universal sign that she's terrified. The board is set. The rebellion against the top idol starts now. It is finally showtime at Shine Mall. Amain looks the part in full idol gear, but she realizes Kazuma is walking straight into a wall. She has to remind him the dressing room is the other way. Backstage, the vibes are rancid. Rua refuses to breathe the same air as a nobody. Kazuma ignores the trash and drags Amane to a storage closet. It is dusty, but he tells her to forget the haters and trust her training. In the quiet, Minato finally asks the big question. Why is he risking his neck for her? Kazuma does not flinch. He drops the truth bomb. This school is a suffocating prison that worships the elite, and he hates it. He believes if a normal girl shines, it will punch a hole in their wall. Minato cannot believe her ears, but he admits that is just the side quest. He really just wanted to see her win. Then he remembers the secret weapon. He pulls out a custom pair of cat ears. Minato freaks out when she realizes he sewed them himself. She is touched that he put in the work. She swears to do her best, but he cuts her off. He pats her head, telling her the fit is absolutely perfect. She is flustered, but he gets serious. He confesses that he once tried to change his image too, but the cool kids just pointed and laughed. He knows Minato is different though. He screams that she is going to shine because she actually worked for it. Suddenly, reality knocks. The staff shouts that it is showtime. Kazuma points to the door. Go get them. He offers one last savage plan. They are going to steal every single one of that pig's fans. Minato grabs his hand. Deal sealed. She sprints toward the light. A girl who shines has no enemies.